Hi, everyone. My name is Elma Jashim, and I'm here today on behalf of Team Belmont Eco Club to present our climate action project, incorporating environmental justice in medical education. So just a brief overview of what our project entailed. It was to integrate environmental justice education into the curriculum of the upcoming Frisk College of Medicine at Belmont University. And we are proud to announce that we have successfully completed our initial project and have even gone beyond. So why is it important to teach environmental justice in medicine? Well, as we can see from recent environmental injustices, including the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, environmental crises disproportionately impact marginalized communities, and this can have a devastating impact on the health of these populations. And this is becoming increasingly recognized by the medical establishment, as we learned in our initial research for our project. So we were able to harness this momentum in order to make our project a success. So now I just want to take you all down the journey of our project. And I really like to think of this as a story of big challenges and even bigger triumphs. After all, once we landed back in Nashville from San Francisco, we definitely had our work cut out for us, with us foreseeing the following challenges: interfering with the accreditation process, getting in front of the busy medical school faculty, convincing them that our ideas are worth implementing, and bringing a progressive agenda to a school that has historically dropped the ball on social issues. So where do we start? We had to be strategic and ask ourselves, who do we know who knows someone at the medical school? So we identified a connection in Dr. Jennifer Thomas, who is my former cancer biology professor, who is also dual appointed as a faculty member at the med school. We met with her and pitched our project to her. She loved it, but she gave us some brutal honesty and told us to be prepared to be put on the back burner. But she also connected us with Dr. Karen Lewis at the medical school, which was a huge win for us, as she is the director of the social health equity and anti-racism part of the med school curriculum. So once we had a meeting set up with Dr. Lewis, we then had to design a draft environmental justice curriculum in order to present to her. So after a lot of research and deliberation with our team, we developed this 3 buckets of environmental justice and health curriculum. This includes 3 overarching categories that we thought would be important to include in a curriculum like this. The first bucket is the exposure bucket, which addresses proximity to different sources of pollution and toxins. Then we have the accessibility bucket, which addresses what communities might be lacking in their environments that could be leading to adverse health impacts. The third bucket is emerging effects, which is addressing the evolving impacts of climate change on human health as it continues to progress. So then we had our official meeting with Dr. Lewis, where we pitched our project and draft curriculum to her, and she was hugely excited about our project, even calling it a win-win multiple times, as our project was perfectly aligned with the goals of the medical school. She wanted us to do a bit more research and tailor our curriculum a bit more and present it to her and her colleagues in leadership at the medical school again at the second meeting. So once the second round of research was underway, we really wanted to reach out to experts in the field for their advice. So we decided to reach out to Dr. Renee Salas, who is the premier climate health expert in our country. We weren't really expecting her to respond to our emails, but she did and was excited to meet with us. We pitched our project to her and asked her for her advice, and she gave us a lot of really valuable guidance, including tangible resources such as textbooks, learning modules, and worksheets that medical schools can incorporate when teaching climate health. So after the second round of research, we finalized our 3 buckets curriculum by including Tennessee-specific applications to make it local to our community. And we had 1 for each bucket. So for the exposure bucket, we had Memphis and Dixon, Tennessee. For the accessibility bucket, we highlighted North Nashville. And for the emerging effects bucket, we highlighted urban heat islands throughout Tennessee. So now I'm just going to give a brief overview of each application. So starting with Memphis, Tennessee, Black and Brown communities in Memphis have a huge water pollution issue, with carcinogens or cancer-causing agents being present at 400 times the safe drinking level, according to the EPA. There's also a huge air pollution crisis in Memphis, with disproportionately high rates of hospitalizations and death due to childhood asthma. Then going on to Dixon, Tennessee, similarly to Memphis, there's also a huge water pollution problem, which has led and been linked to devastating health impacts, including cancer. And then going into North Nashville, this part of Nashville is a predominantly Black and Brown community, which is ranked in the 95th to 100th percentile for a variety of different environmental justice markers. The Bordeaux neighborhood is also located here, and this has historically been used as Nashville's dumping ground for construction waste. And then finally, redlining in the Fisk-Meharry neighborhood highlights how redlining can lead to little green space and vegetation in predominantly Black neighborhoods, especially compared to more affluent parts of Nashville. And then finally, we have urban heat, which impacts the cities of Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Memphis. And along with this, there are more dangerously hot days predicted in Tennessee by 2050. This has health impacts, including reproductive, fatigue, heat stroke, and exhaustion, all of which can lead to hospitalization and even death. So with this finalized curriculum, we went into the final meeting with Dr. Lewis and her colleagues in leadership. And it was at this meeting that we were able to confirm that our curriculum will be implemented into the medical school. And this implementation will come in the form of 4 successes, as well as an additional success that we tacked on at the end for additional outreach. So the first success is Impact Week. So Impact Week is a periodic week in the medical curriculum to highlight social aspects of medicine. And our 3 buckets curriculum will be taught at the very first Impact Week. The next success is experiential learning activities, in which the medical school will use heat tracking necklaces to look at the disproportionate amounts of heat in different neighborhoods throughout the city, as well as particulate matter strips, which I actually have one with me here right now, to look at the disproportionate amounts of air pollution in different areas throughout the city. And then we'll have field service days during orientation, in which the medical school will take students out to the communities highlighted in our curriculum for a day of hands-on learning and service to these areas. We have graduation concentrations, which is still a work in progress. There will be opportunities for an environmental justice distinction with the granting of the medical degree. And then finally, we have our teach-in for climate justice, environmental justice, and health. So this is the way we really went above and beyond our initial cap. We took our research that we did on environmental justice and applied it to undergraduates through this. And we had a huge success with huge turnout and engagement from Belmont undergrads. So next, I just want to get into our massive impact. Our curriculum will touch over 100 medical students each year, resulting in thousands of future doctors who are educated on environmental justice. It is truly the first of its kind, and we will create a ripple effect for other medical schools to prioritize environmental justice when teaching their students, thus multiplying our impact. This is a huge step in the right direction towards a medical system that looks at the social determinants of disease rather than just treating the symptoms. And this is a huge win for Belmont University, as this is a hugely progressive initiative implemented here. Looking toward the future, we will continue to work with the medical school to ensure smooth implementation as we get closer to the first class next fall. We will expand to other health disciplines as we've already started to do. And myself as a future physician and our whole team in our respective careers, we are all dedicated to combating environmental injustices in our future career paths. And we look forward to continuing to change the world in this field. Lastly, I just want to give a huge thank you to Project Green Challenge for this incredible opportunity and platform. Thank you so much.